Anybody who thinks this Tomb Raider game is good, you're wrong as shit. You're wrong. You beat off when you were a youngin' to her cone boobies, and you thought, boy, gaming doesn't get better than this. Well, let me tell you something, person who lacks critical thinking. That's all hindsight, because this game sucks. She attacks wildlife in some caves. It's cool because it's quiet, because in caves it should be quiet, but it's bad. It looks bad. It controls even worse. Lara Croft was a big deal because back then it was a big deal to put a human that had breasts on a magazine. But that's not cool anymore. It doesn't matter as much. Plus the breasts now look like breasts and not traffic cones. So don't play this game anymore. It's not a good one. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fighting in a tournament setting is another one of these turtle games. I had fun with it for an hour. It's got different characters. Some of these I haven't seen anywhere else, and I basically just watch Ninja Turtles all day. Fun little fighting game. It's fine. It's SNES. It's, nobody gives a shit about this game. It's not very exciting. So here we have our indie game. We like indie games. I always try to do a little indie game here. A little independent title. This is a game, I don't know how old it is. I'll know later because I'll have to look up the information to explain to you rubes when this happened. This is called The Path. Little Red Riding Hood situation here, and yeah, it's cool. It's very Lynchian. I like the art direction, which is very good, because other than art, it doesn't have shit all else going on. It's kind of a pretty little game, but the metaphors and such are a little too obtuse. The objectives are fairly arbitrary. It's cool because of atmosphere, and the mood is very disturbing, but as far as concrete interesting type things, it doesn't have shit. I play Mario Kart 7 on my little dual screen while I lay in bed with my spouse. We when we're doing separate activities in the bedroom, I like put on a little Mario Kart 7. It's fun. It's fun to play as your little Wii guy, your little me, your little avatar. But let's be honest, this is not anything new. It's sort of backwards, isn't it? You got a little parasail you can put on and fly your little car around in places, but aside from the online functionality that you can get on your Wi-Fi network with your long complex password because you're too lazy to change your settings that the router people gave you, it's fun, but boy, have we gone to this well. Ugh, Mario, find some new things to do with your tires and your suspension. Captain Novolin is a diabetes awareness game. All it made me aware of is how badly I wanted to die. Saints Row the Third, to the noobs, is a game that is third in the Saints Row series, probably. Maybe they had spin-offs. I don't know. I don't care. This is some fun stuff, guys. If you have not played some of these here Saints Row games, let's get you in gear. Get your saddle out. You got the ragdoll run me over mini games. It's a sandbox playing game, except for instead of being in a little sandbox, you are in a video game where you can jump high and get plastic surgery to change your character look, and you can be as crazy as you want, and the more you play, the more crazy you can unlock. This is fun, and if you don't like playing this, I don't care for you. If you were in a precarious situation, I wouldn't help. I wouldn't. I'd go play more Saints Row because it's wacky, and I like to make Clownwig a hero in a clown wig, and I like to make him jump off the building. Oh, the fun! Have some fun in your life. It's another Telltale Games, this one with the Game of Thrones fire and ice business. Here's why this game doesn't work as well as some of the Walking Dead type stuff. The creators of this game have completely misused the point of Game of Thrones. You see, you really don't get to make any good decisions here. The Walking Dead tells a certain story to it within the world of The Walking Dead. It's bleak, but it finds a good way to tell you a specific story, whereas the Game of Thrones writers for this game here have essentially watched Game of Thrones, and the lesson they've taken away is you're going to fuck up, and there's nothing you can do about it. So pick which way you want to choose your choice, because no matter what you do, do, you'll be fucked. And that's not really good, because a show is a passive medium, and there are moments of victory within the show. They're just much more leveled out when compared to other shows, whereas this is just a continual beating and bukkake of everything the player tries to achieve. It's okay to guess wrong or to fail, but there aren't really any good choices to begin with. And that's not really the lesson. So the game is fine. It's another Telltale game. They do fine. But this one just isn't very amusing play, because it's completely miscast the point of the whole universe. So, George R.R. Martin probably hates this game because it got it wrong, but at the same time, it bought him his 15th car, so that's cool. It's another Castlevania game. This one is Bloodlines, and you can hit people with a whip or a spear depending on which 80s rock star you choose to start the game with. You hit monsters because they're up to no good. Dracula's always trying to come back and, I don't know, destabilize the world economy by flooding the job market with mummies or some shit. I don't know. Dracula's a dick. His monsters are dicks. It's just an excuse to get a bunch of cool monsters into a game, which I'm all for, but the game doesn't handle very well. The stairs are awful. The whole stairs thing, they really should have improved on that, because this Genesis should have better stairs mechanics and control than the older games, but it really doesn't, at least not by much. So go ahead, pop it in and hit a werewolf with a stick, because Castlevania and such. Killer Instinct 2. It's another fighting game. God knows we needed more of those 20 years ago. It's basically the first one, but less interesting, and some of the tit physics in this are so weird and creepy and upsetting. A lot of people like to say this is one of the greatest games of all time. I can't imagine another game being as good as this game. Those people are all 170 years old, because if you can't imagine another game being better than a bunch of blocks fitting together, I don't know what's wrong with you. You have problems. The game's fine. It's amusing, but you can run it on a calculator now. You could probably run it on a ceiling fan. It's not that interesting. Influential, yeah, cool. But if I was at a laundromat and I had a bunch of quarters, which I would because I was at a laundromat, I wouldn't play this. I would just do more laundry. I feel like the only place Tetris machines are left are in laundromats.